Well, now let's bring into the conversation Ida, who is an advocate for older people, and she's a counsellor for the Stephen Lewis Foundation, which has a Grandmother for Grandmothers campaign that's going. So Ida, tell us about perhaps one of the grandmothers that this foundation and you have supported.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the WHO for this opportunity and all protocols observed. My speech is focusing on ageism in the context of older women in Africa. In my experience, older women have been neglected and they lack the support that they need because of their age. They are seen as useless, as of no use, despite their contribution to development. They are the ones that have been taking care of the orphaned vulnerable children and even their sick children as they are dying. They are used as scapegoat if things go wrong. Whenever their children contract HIV and they die, they are blamed for that. They are called all sorts of names. And to put all these things in a context, I want to give one example of many of the examples that I've come across in my work with the Stephen Lewis Foundation. A woman named Margaret, who is from Western Kenya in Kisumu, she had 5 children and she lost all the 5 children to AIDS. She was left to take care of the 7 orphaned vulnerable children. She also lost her husband and she was given another husband as a way of inheritance. Even the second husband died. She was called a witch in the community. No one wanted her. They wanted her to die like tomorrow. She was blamed. She was isolated. She was discriminated. She was stigmatized. Nobody wanted to visit her. Nobody wanted to check her, despite the service that she was providing of taking care of the orphaned vulnerable children. She also fell sick because she was HIV positive. And she was so sick, and her grandchildren came to her aid. After the grandchildren saw that she was really sick and she was dying, they are the people who went to the community-based organization and told them our grandmother is dying, because for the orphans, that was their father and their mother, because their parents had died. And so Margaret was taken to the hospital. She became better. She was back to the community. She joined the support group for the grandmothers, and she became happy. She was now a leader. She became a leader for her community. Everyone now was looking at Margaret. And so when we look at that, we see such a resource that was almost dying because of the stereotypes that were around within the communities. And so what is happening here is remarkable. People do not talk about ageism, but ageism is real. And so we need to respect the older persons, and they need to be recognized for their contributions. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ida, for that very compelling testimony